Hey there, Technopals, and welcome to part 3 of lesson 4 of Mechanical Systems and Control. Here we do a revision on what mechanical advantage is. Remember that mechanical advantage, written as MA, is the ability of tools to make it easier to do work. Mechanical advantage is a measure of the number of times a machine increases or multiplies your effort force. All simple mechanisms like levers, wheels, and axles, cranks, cams, and gears are able to use different input force and movements to create outputs which give mechanical advantage. The greater the mechanical advantage of a particular lever or mechanism, the less effort force is needed to perform the task. Figure 13 shows that the furthest the input is from the fulcrum, the greater the output force to lift heavy objects. Let's talk about mechanical advantage and the ability to multiply input forces. In levers, the output force is directly proportional to the distance between the fulcrum and the input force. This means that a small input force can potentially make a big output force. The further the input force is from the fulcrum, the greater the output force, and so the heavier the load that can be lifted. But mechanical advantage can also multiply input distances. The closer the input force is to the fulcrum, the greater the output distance will be, and this means that a small distance makes a big output distance. This is shown as an example in figures 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now, let's talk about strengthening frame structures. In term 2, you investigated how materials and structures could be stiffened in different ways. You learned that structures and the material that they are made from can be strengthened in 3 ways: tubing, folding, and triangulation. Let's talk about strengthening the structure of a bicycle. Refer to the photograph of the bicycle on your screen in figure 19. A bicycle is a frame structure, and you can also see that the bicycle is strengthened by triangulation. Note that the triangular members of the frame and the wheel spokes. Tubing. The frame is made of tubing of steel or aluminum. Triangulation and tubing enable the bicycle to withstand the forces exerted on it by the load that is the cyclist. Strengthening in tin cans. Some tin cans are strengthened by folding. This fold is called corrugations. Corrugations makes the material more rigid. The corrugated material is thus able to withstand more force than the material that is non-corrugated. Figure 20 shows a can that is strengthened with corrugations.